My second day started with a beautiful sunny morning as I opened the doors for the balcony to stretch. It's a perfect day for my boat tour. I went down the stairs for breakfast and I found out they had a delicious variety of different foods. Fruits, milk, coffee, and everything needed to start a great day. The highlight of the breakfast was their amazing homemade pão de queijo, a very delicious gluten-free cheese bread. As I savored my amazing breakfast in the patio, I was surrounded by beautiful plants, singing birds, and some very adorable surprise visitors. A monkey family came down the trees for the VIP banana breakfast, courtesy of the hotel staff. These squirrel-sized monkeys are called sagui de tufo branco. They're the most common monkey species in Rio de Janeiro state. After interacting with the monkeys, I rushed to my boat tour. Our tour guide Leonai gave us some safety instructions before setting sail and starting our adventure. This boat tour in a fast boat costed me 300 reais or 52 American dollars. After a couple of minutes, we arrived to our first destination. So here we are in our second day on our first stop in this boat tour, which is Ilha dos Cocos, Coconut Island. Here we will have the opportunity to snorkel and check out some beautiful sea life. So I'm just gonna go snorkel and check out some stuff. While snorkeling, I was able to see some colorful fish. The water was calm, warm, and crystal clear. The absolute definition of paradise. I had about 20 minutes to enjoy the air, and then it was time to go to our next destination, this time with some land to walk on. So this is our second stop, which is Praia do Engenho. This place is part of a protected reserve, which means you cannot play music, you cannot make any loud sounds, especially because of the animals, and also there is some indigenous people living here, which are the cachaça. Visitors are only allowed to stay for a few hours here. And same rule applies to this cute little doggy running around the beach. I felt like lying in the sand and getting a tan was ideal after some snorkeling and swimming. However, you can also snorkel in this stop. After 30 minutes in this beautiful beach, it was time for our next destination. An alluring secluded island with extremely clear water. As we hopped off the boat, we were instructed to follow this trail until the other side of the island. So, this is our third stop, which is Ilha da Cotia, Cotia Island. This place is very peaceful, and we had to stop at the other side because there's many rocks around here which would not allow any boats to park here. I laid on the sand for a moment to enjoy this scenic place. On the way back to the boat, I saw the tour guide getting some fruits from the tree. He told me this delicious fruit is called pitanga, so I asked him for some help to get me one as well. It was a tasty mix of sweet and sour, and it also had a heavenly smell. Then right before getting in the boat, I got him breaking up a coconut with the anchor, just to get some water out of it. Literally, I felt like I was inside a Sims Castaway game. He gave me one piece of the inner part to try it out. It's really sweet. Just like this, natural, doesn't need anything else. After enjoying the wonders of Mother Nature, it was time to go to our next destination, a seaweed farm. Seaweed is part of turtles' diet, so we went on a quest to look for them. Unfortunately, there was no turtles to be seen around. So after a few minutes, we went straight to our next destination. So now this is our fourth stop, which is Enseada da Preguiça, which is basically sloth enseada, which means there used to be a lot of sloths living here. Currently, there is not too many, but you can actually see some really cool fish, although they can be dangerous. These thin elongated fish are called peixe agulha or needlefish. While normally these fish are not harmful, they're able to leap out of the water at high speed. Their long and pointed snouts can actually cause puncture wounds. But this can only happen when these fish are startled. That's why you shouldn't scare them. Just swim around and you'll be fine. After the visit to Enseada da Preguiça, it was time for lunch. We stopped at this charming beach restaurant. And of course, I had to order something typical, tasty, and fulfilling. Muqueca de peixe with some farofa and rice. This delicious fish stew is a typical dish in Brazil and it's served all over the country. Its mouth-watering taste made it seem like there was some Brazilian grandma preparing this dish for me. After lunch, I had some time to relax and wander around the area. I found this scenic swing for pictures just in front of the beach. Then we headed to our last destination in this boat trip. So this is our last stop. After lunch, we're here at Ilha Comprida do Norte, which is basically a small northern island. The waters here are see-through and bright turquoise. I'm just in love with this place, and it's gonna be great to just digest the food and chill a little bit and just relax right before we go back to Paraty. I'm gonna miss this place so much. I wish I could just stay here a few hours. Following 40 minutes of me enjoying this divine place, it was time to go back to Paraty. When we got back to the dock, the tour guide invited me to explore his boat home. This vintage wooden ship was originally made to cross over the seas to endure a long-distance trip until South Africa. However, it never achieved its purpose and it remained in Brazil, used as a tour boat in Paraty, and now home to Leonai, the tour guide. On the way out of the docks, I saw some very interesting boats. Each one of them was decorated by its owners. And walking down the streets, I could finally witness the phenomena of maré cheia. The seawater had entered the streets, filling them with these cute crabs. Then back in the hotel, I found this adorable monkey chilling in the trees. And I gave him my phone to catch his reaction with the front camera. It was hilarious. I took a shower and then I decided to check out one of the best museums in the town, located only a few steps away from the hotel, Igreja de Santa Rita. This 300-year-old church was built in 1722. It opened as an antique art museum in 2015 after 7 years of restoring. Most of the church's ornaments are made of gold, same gold that was extracted from Minas Gerais mines and then taken to Paraty to be mostly exported to Portugal. After the museum, I kept exploring the surroundings and it felt like a trip to the past. Fun fact, when you see pineapples in a house's facade, it means that its former owner was rich, as they were symbols of wealth and prosperity. While walking around, I found another art museum. Art is definitely part of the soul of Paraty, as it is present in every corner. As night fell, my stomach rumbled with hunger. So I began wandering around the city center, peeking into restaurants looking for a place for dinner. Eventually, I came across Thai Brazil, a Thai cuisine restaurant whose charming appearance drew me inside. As a pad Thai lover, I had to order myself one. The bill was $20 for a pad Thai and a lemonade. Then I felt the urge for an ice cream as it was really hot. So I went to Miracolo for an ice cream, which was $3. By the end of my second day, I felt like Paraty had won a special place in my heart. On the next episode, I decided to go on a different type of adventure. A thrilling jeep tour through stunning waterfalls and traditional cachaça distilleries, complete with cachaça tasting. Thanks for watching, and don't miss out of my next adventures by liking, subscribing, and hitting that bell button. See you in my next trip.